Hello Teespring, I'm Federico from Tempines. I just want to show you guys what we have been working yesterday on our Buenos Aires Hackathon Day. Well, basically what we did is we tried an implementation of the Barrister Gem, which is an implementation of Barrister RPC. Barrister RPC, it's an implementation of the JSON RPC protocol. That you can find in the documentation. There's a link to the JSON RPC, which is a very short specification that you can take a look. So, well, what does it do, Barrister? Barrister allows you to define a contract between the services that are going to be communicated. Let me show you the way you define this contract. Basically, you can define data types using the word struct. You can put struct response, and you define what the data structure will look like. There's 4 primitive data types: int, string, bool, and I don't remember the other one, but you can also, well, you can extend data types, you can define enumerations, and the other thing that you can do is you can define that a field, it's optional. Then you define the interfaces, where you define the methods that you are going to use to communicate with between the client and the server. So you define the method, the params that are going to be sent, and what's the response that the server is going to return. Here we use the fulfillment service that we're starting to work with Ricky. So you can see that here there's a struct money, where we define what money looks like. Then there's a fulfillment job, where we send an ID, the status, the name, the printer ID, and the cost, which is the money. And then we define a couple of methods here just to test. The only one that we ended up doing is the create, where we send the printer ID, a name, and the cost. What is the major advantage of defining this contract? The major advantage, there are 2 major advantages of defining this contract. The first one is that it can be used by the client and the server to validate that we are sending the right data, right? That we are sending data that both the client and the server knows. The server then can convert to the data types that it corresponds automatically, without you having to do anything. And if there are any errors, it returns the error to the client, so that the client know what happened. All that happens automatically. The second good advantage is that the client, when the developer is working, it can go and look at the documentation, because as you saw, there's an HTML that is generated that shows you, well, this is an old one. It doesn't contain everything because I haven't moved it to. Let me move it real quick. So just to show you the last one. But just as you can see, there's an HTML with the documentation for the client to use when building the methods to call the server. So, well, we created a Rails project just to test this Barrister Gem. So far it's on Santi's GitHub, and it's public. And just let me show you a couple of things that we were playing with, just to show you all the advantages that I just. One important thing: this is not a REST. It's not defined based on REST. So the way it works is you need to send this JSON with the JSON this is the structure. It contains the protocol that it's going to be used. You need to define what's the name of the method that you're going to call, and then you need to send the params in an array. These are the params that are going to be sent to the method. Then the last field, it's just an ID, which if you send, the server must return an answer. But if you don't send it, the server is not obliged to return to do a response. So, well, this is one of the methods, as you saw, create, that we define, that receives the printer ID, the name, and the cost. So I am just going to use the simple client to make the post request, and this is the structure, this is the printer ID, this is the name, and this is the money that we are going to send. The currency, it's not required. So I'm going to do the call, and when you do the call, JSON RPC can return two results. One, it's the JSON when everything succeeded. This is the JSON that I just sent, and if it doesn't succeed, it will send an error. I will show you that just in a couple of seconds. So what happens, let me show you what happens when you send a value that cannot be converted to the data type that it corresponds. For example, I send a string in the send. Automatically, Barrister will, well, it doesn't return a JSON, it returns this. And in the second field, there's the error, there's a code, and there's a message that tells you exactly what happened. This is the first thing of the automatic errors that Barrister sends. Let me show you another more interesting thing, is that you can also, if the client knows the class, the exception, you can throw business exceptions from the server and then send them to the client for the client to deserialize and create a business exception inside the client. This is really interesting. So one of the business rules that we put is that the name should have more than 5 characters. So let me show you what happened in that case. As you can see here, this is the name of the error. There was a business error. This is the class name that had the error, fulfillment job, and then we send the details of the business exception. It's too short. What else can we show you? Well, this is about it. We put some documentation here on the wiki to describe the things that I just told you. Basically, there's automatic documentation based on the interface that we define. There's a contract that it's used to validate, and well, basically that's it. A couple of things that could be disadvantages or not. The first thing is that we were talking yesterday. It doesn't follow the REST protocol. That was done on purpose. One of the things that the advantages of not following the REST protocol is it can be used with other technologies. For example, you can put the message in Redis. There are examples putting the messages in Redis and serve that way without doing HTTP. One problem that we did find, it's a problem on the Barrister Ruby gem. It doesn't follow really the protocol, the JSON RPC protocol, and so you cannot do things like this. This is the way we wanted to do it, passing name parameters. So that doesn't work. it's a bad request. That's a problem with the Barrister Ruby Gem. Well, that would be it. I don't wanna make it too long. Thank you and bye.